don't really get too worked up about transfer rumours with regard to teams coming and trying to buy West Ham players. It's a free market, right? You're able to do so. The transfer window's open. If somebody wants to come and make a bid for a West Ham player, they're welcome to do so. It's as simple as that. In fact, I actually remember quite some years ago, it was David Moyes. He was manager of Everton. And Everton had a striker called Andy Johnson, who you may or may not remember. And there was a point where West Ham made a bid for Andy Johnson. If anyone can find it, it's a very, very interesting press conference. It's David Moyes going mad that West Ham would dare to make a bid. And he basically said West Ham have got no business making a bid for Andy Johnson. West Ham can't afford Andy Johnson. They shouldn't be making a bid. It was a weird rant, a really weird rant, which didn't really show much understanding of how the transfer window works. Of course, West Ham were able to make a bid for Andy Johnson, and if Everton didn't want to sell him, then they could say no. There was no buyout clause. Obviously, the transfer never happened anyway. But I think you can sometimes get a little bit too touchy and a little bit offended, maybe, when someone dares to make a bid for one of your players. And that would be my stance on it. But today I found myself getting a bit annoyed about the speculation linking Jarrod Bowen with a move to Newcastle. It's not just speculation. Speculation is fine, but it's the insistence, I think, that Newcastle are going to get him, and the insistence that not only that, they'll get him at the price that they want to buy him for. And I think, oh, really? Is this so? If this was just a load of press nonsense from some vague websites who have no affiliation with Newcastle United, I wouldn't be too bothered about it. However, the most recent stories come from the Northern Echo and the South Shields Gazette. Now, I understand that these two media outlets are not leviathans in terms of being big media corporations. It ain't the BBC, it ain't Sky News or anything like that. But what they are people with press passes and regular access and constant access to Newcastle United. And they are people that regularly reveal exclusives from the club. The South Shields Gazette in particular is one of those, as is the Northern Echo. So when they start saying Newcastle United are serious about buying Jarrod Bowen, then yeah, you have to start taking it a little bit more seriously than if, I don't know, 90 Minutes were saying it, Off Court Offside was saying it, or something like that. I think, okay, there probably is genuine interest. Now, in case you're sort of behind the times in terms of the financial fair play and PSR regulations and whatnot, it was understood that Newcastle were probably going to have to sell before they could buy. Not because they're skin, no, but because people don't want them to be able to compete with the likes of Manchester United. That's why the rules are there. So basically, you're going to have to sell before you can buy. Well, that's okay, because it looks like Newcastle are. They've already sold Elliot Anderson. They're in the process of selling at least one other player, and there's even talk that Anthony Gordon might be on the wish list for Liverpool. Whether that's true or not, I don't know at all. There's been a massive upheaval at Newcastle anyway. They've obviously lost their director of football, who, whatever you want to call him, sporting director, who initially they poached him off Brighton. Is it Ashworth? I think that might be his name. And then looks like he's been poached as well. He's moved to Manchester United, as I understand it, but he's not able to take up his role at Manchester United because he's on gardening leave. Not today, bloody ain't. I tell you, not unless he's got himself a bloody big old overall and some welly boots. He ain't doing much gardening. So anyway, they've basically replaced him, and Jarrod Bowen is the number one target for the right wing. Right wing is their most important position this season. However, I'm not going to read the whole article to you, but I want to read this bit now. And this is at the bottom of the Northern Echo. It basically goes on to say that, nevertheless, Newcastle officials feel that there is a potential for a deal with West Ham, given the Hammers' transfer dealings, and the fact that Bowen does not have a relationship with the club's new manager, Julian Lopetegui, yet. While neither Newcastle nor West Ham are in Europe next season, Newcastle's recruitment team feel Bowen could be persuaded that the Magpies have a better chance of challenging for regular continental competition in the next few years than his current employers. Well, not if they can't spend money, they won't be able to. But that's, sorry, I don't want to go on me FFP rant again. Anyway, it says reports have claimed that West Ham will demand more than £100 million for Bowen. This is the bit that now we get to the annoying bit. But that is regarded as fanciful, within senior circles on Tyneside. There's been no formal contact between the clubs yet, with Bowen still in Germany as part of England's squad, but it's set to change as this summer progresses. This matches with what the South Shields Gazette are saying, which is they think Jarrod Bowen is overvalued by West Ham. They can get it for cheaper. Well, oh really? I mean, you know, and the other newspaper called it laughable. One of them called it fanciful. One of them called it laughable. Well, it ain't laughable, is it? Because that's the price. Sorry, doing my old eBay figure again. If I don't need to do eBay, my car is on Auto Trader at the moment, right? Now, someone can either buy my car or they can not buy my car. But if they come along and they don't like the price, they can laugh at it. And just because they think, that's laughable, I don't suddenly say, oh, do you know what? Because you're laughing, I'm going to reduce the price for you. No, I'm going to slam the door in your face and simple as that, really. And make sure I've not left the keys in the car, obviously. But the fact that they think it fanciful or laughable really has no bearing on what West Ham should or shouldn't do. If it's 100 million, it's 100 million, and I don't want to sell him for that. He's not even for sale. But it's like this Mohamed Kudus thing. Mohamed Kudus had a buyout clause, £85 million. Anyone could have bought him for £85 million in June this year. It didn't happen. Well, in fact, it was up until the 2nd of July, but was it open for a month? No one bought him. Well, fine. So at the point when no one bought him, West Ham said, well, he's not for sale. Now we're not selling him. And even if he did, it cost 150 million. Well, no one can complain at that. If someone wanted him desperately enough, pay the 85 on bloody July the 1st and get the deal done, but nobody did. All this talk of Saudi Arabian interested in him, they honestly could have bought him. Their transfer window in Saudi opened on the 1st of July. They basically had 48 hours to buy him, and they didn't. So, okay, it's done, and there you go. West Ham don't want to sell him, so they put a prohibitive price in. That's what's happened with Jarrod Bowen. Jarrod Bowen is apparently happy, settled, young family, likes it at West Ham. The fact that he's not got a relationship with Lopetegui yet, I don't know, mate, I perhaps shouldn't be annoyed by it. But I have to say, I would really defend Newcastle's right, by the way. I would defend their right to contest and to bid for players and to buy players. And actually, I think it's bang out of order the way that FFP and PSR are going to stop Newcastle from trying to challenge at the top. I hate it. I hate it. I really do. However, they are a little bit entitled as a fan base. They're not quite as bad as Liverpool. They do think they're a little bit special and a little bit different, I feel, to a lot of others. And the fact that they think they could just come and take our players because they're a better option, from Jarrod Bowen, who's happy in Essex, living in Essex, has won a European trophy, scored the winning goal, European trophy with West Ham, is it's a little bit entitled, a little bit annoying with the reporting there, but I find it preposterous. Newcastle United, I don't want to sell Bowen. Newcastle United should be able to spend 100 million. Do you know what? Because they've got billions. They shouldn't have to sell before they can buy Bowen, and it's preposterous that they're being asked to. And the reason I would defend Newcastle United in that is because I just think these rules are going to come and they just stop and they hinder any sort of ambition. And they get 50 odd thousand fans every week, Newcastle. Honestly, they're a big club. They really are. And not as many fans as West Ham, obviously, but they're a big club. And they're a big club and they're a rich club. And pretending that you're looking after them so as they don't go out of business is absolutely preposterous. Let them spend, just don't let them spend on Jarrod Bowen. I don't think he's going. I really don't. They look well stocked, by the way. Even if they were, I mean, they got Barnes and they got Gordon there, who both obviously predominantly play off the left. Probably, I don't know what's happening with Almiron there. You get the impression that Almiron, as well as Eddie Howe, has done. Eddie Howe has really got him playing well, didn't he? He got so many people playing well. He changed Joe Linton's position and got him doing really well as well. Yet you still ultimately think they're a right winger short, and you know what? So be it. Just don't come thinking that you're going to come to West Ham and think, oh, do you know what? We'd like him, but we're not paying what you want. We're going to pay what we want. We're not going to pay the West Ham price. We're going to pay the Newcastle price. Well, you know what? I just can't see any way in which that works. And for Newcastle on eBay, or the person that's trying to buy. There's actually nobody trying to buy my. But we might have to go to We Buy Any Car. I've got an appointment there. They're gonna pull me pants down on that one, I can tell you. But anyway, there you go. Oh, before I go, don't forget to get your Match Bingo cards in. Match Bingo. Match Bingo. What is Match Bingo? Well, Match Bingo is a chance for you to win some money. We've had loads more winners last week. I had someone win a couple of £100 during the last England game, actually, and loads of people winning sort of £25 here, £50 there. We had a couple of winners on the Netherlands game as well. What's Match Bingo? Well, you know what bingo is, right? So bingo, you get a card which is full of numbers, and then basically someone calls out 44, number 2, 22, and then you cross the numbers out as someone's calling it out. And if you get a line, basically, then you win some money. It's as simple as that. What they've replaced the numbers with stuff that happens in a game. So rather than it being number 22, it might be a corner gets taken. Might be a number 4. It might be there's a throw-in. That sort of thing. You get a card. You get 15 things that happen during a game. 3 lines of 5. Get a line, win some money. Get 2 lines, win some money. Get a full house, win lots of money. It really is as simple as that. There's a link in the description below. Brilliant game. We've had 80 to 90 winners just from you guys who watch Hammers Chat so far. Please do use link below. I know you come from Hammers Chat. It is 18 and above. It is a betting app, but we've got an offer on at the moment. You can't spend loads on this anyway. It's £2 per play. The most you can buy is 5 cards for any particular game, but buy 3 and you're going to get 2 free. So basically, if you spend £6, you're going to get 5 cards. We've had lots and lots of winners. Please do check it out. Links in the description below. You want to get that done ahead of tomorrow's England game. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. Don't think Jarrod Bowen's going to feature in that. They'll probably use that to drive his price down, Newcastle.